Guys, do you think the scarcity of labor and the inflationary period that we're heading into with the rising costs, how do you think that's going to impact innovation in QSR kitchens?
Sure, yeah. I mean, we talked a little bit about it, just being able to attract, get people excited about coming into the restaurant industry and taking some of these mundane and difficult tasks and being able to automate those or use robotics in some kind of way to make it easier on crew members, right? And so that, even just thinking of like the morning crew that comes in, the thing that they're thinking about in the morning is getting ready for lunch. So they're running around the kitchen trying to set everything up and prep and all this kind of stuff. But then the night crew, even in a Buffalo Wild Wings, which most of their business is at night, right? Their thought is when they're coming in is, I got to start thinking about closing. What can I do to close, And so how much business are you losing throughout the night because, your mindset is closing. So if we can automate in those areas and have folks thinking about the rush, it's, I'm a little bit off topic of the question with labor, but at the end of the day, it just makes the crew's lives easier, right? And so I think it's going to help us attract a different, a higher caliber team member into the restaurants, make it more fun again.
I think obviously the labor shortage has just been a huge catalyst, right? And we took something that it's probably the trends and crammed them down to a couple years when they were supposed to be, 5 or 7, gosh darn it.
Yep.
So that benefits folks like us who are working on automation because everybody's screaming for it because of the labor shortage, but also the other benefits, which just to remind all of us, is the other benefits are consistency, better quality, better food safety, big on the food safety piece too as well, and then training. Gosh, I can now go in. I've been taking people into our test kitchen and have them make their own pizzas, and with more automation, I'm able to teach somebody in half the time, and then it's going to be a quarter, and then all the things you talk about, which are going to help people make the right decisions and make it easier for them on the training side as well, and then bottom line, make it a better experience for the employee.
And Jeff, you've been writing a monologue over there.
I have 2 points, but I'll try to be quick on it.
Okay.
One is a quick story. 100 years ago, when I worked for EMJAC, we contracted Rhode Island School of Design.
I have your resume. That was 110 years ago. Okay.
And we took the RISD students and put them into a restaurant, and we said, we want you to observe the behaviors in the restaurant to reduce the labor requirement in the restaurant. And they said, well, why do you want to do that? And it was training, 240% turnover. All these things make it terrible for these employees. And there was a little girl in the back of the room that raised her hand. She said, what if we just made it a better place to work? and so that dawned on me. And so that shows your point. Yeah. But the point that I want to make about this labor scarcity, my worst fear in the world right now is that this labor scarcity will cause automation to fail. Because people are going to jump into it without knowing what they're doing, without a plan. I had a boss that used to say, Jeff, the first thing you need to do is decide you want to go to Montreal. And then you decide whether you're going to go on a plane or train or automobile. This labor scarcity is going to create people to jump off the dock with automation, and they'll fail. And I don't want automation to be the sufferer of a bad name because of that.
Good call. Great. Awesome.